watching News 24 Live this evening. Bafana take on Senegal in a do-or-die clash. Sadly, it comes down again to permutations about whether or not they go through from Group C. I'm joined in studio by soccer analyst Wade Pretorius to discuss the ins and outs of this fixture. Wade, thanks for coming in again.
Yeah, Nick, good to be here. A little bit nervous ahead of tonight's fixture. It's obviously, as you say, do or die. And quite surprising, after one game, we find ourselves sort of steering exit and that plane trip back to South Africa just like that.
Before we talk about the permutations, speaking to Tashreeq earlier this week, he seemed to think that Darren Keat wouldn't be replaced, he'd stay in goal. He's been replaced, so that was one of two changes that were made by Shakes Mashaba. Do you want to just talk about those? Yeah,
well, the first one is the enforced change with the Rivaldo Kutsia injured and not available, and Eric Matoho comes in. I think a lot of fans wouldn't really mind that because Matoho has proven this season for club and country just how good he is, and he's been rock solid at the back for Chiefs with a great defence. So no surprise there, and also no concern there. The other change is the one that's in making the headlines, that Darren Keat pays the price for an average display against the Algerians in the first game, with Jackson Mabukwane coming in. Also coming in ahead of Brilliant Kuzwaya, who featured in some of the warm-up games. So I suppose this is just the Sheikh's way of doing things, you know, a couple of surprise changes just to keep the fans and us journalists on our toes.
In your opinion, is Mabukwane the right choice? We've got Brilliant on the bench. You've got a guy like Ntumela Nkune who's fit and rearing to go. He obviously doesn't seem to be in Shakes' sort of strategy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I suppose a lot of guys were shocked Kune making his way back from injury, not to make the plane trip over, even as a third choice goalkeeper. I definitely would have had Kune in my squad, and especially in this game, Kune would have definitely been the one to pick if he was in the squad. But since he's not there, I would have stuck with Darren Keat. He's got the experience. He plays in Belgium in a pretty competitive league, alongside the likes of Andile Jali and co. I wouldn't have dropped him. You know, his confidence is now must be shattered. You know, he's sort of along with Tokela Ranti, the scapegoat for that loss against the Algerians. A big evening now coming up for Jackson Mabukwane. Can he step into the role and somehow keep a clean sheet with a pretty shaky looking defence in front of him?
So I mean, the focus for the second fixture seems to be on defence and goalkeeping. The old football cliche, to win games you need to score goals. That again on Monday night proved to be our undoing. Yeah,
I suppose it all started with that penalty miss, and Tokela Ranti scores that, and all of a sudden we are sitting in the pound seat, you know, just looking probably for a draw tonight and another draw against Ghana, and we're through. So it's about scoring goals, but also you can't go through if you're leaking three at the back every time. Soft goals. You know, pretty poor defensive display. I wouldn't really blame it all on Keat, but because he wasn't helped by those four at least in front of him.
So this evening, Group C, Algeria taking on Ghana. Ghana, so essentially at the end of this round, all teams in Group C could be on 3 points if South Africa beat Senegal and Ghana beat Algeria. If South Africa lose this fixture, that's pretty much their campaign over. Or what are your thoughts about the possible permutations?
Yeah, so we've actually been working them out now. If South Africa lose, and Algeria win, that's pretty much us tickets. It would have to be, we'd have to really thrash Ghana in the next game and hope for a result. It would have to be Algeria beating Senegal. But that's, you know, it shouldn't really come down to that. It would be interesting to see, because Algeria play first tonight. If they draw, then we're in also a little bit of trouble. But because Algeria go to 4, we can only get 3 if we lose, and then Senegal are through. So that Algeria draw tonight, and a loss for us, and we're out the competition. One game to go, and it doesn't really matter. It's tickets for us. There's a lot of permutations, but we must win. Basically, put maths aside, even if we do win, we're still in trouble. But we must win this game.
So your prediction at Sport 24?
My prediction, I don't know. It's one of those head versus heart matches. Senegal, I mean, they don't really need to go for the win. But I think Bafana will sneak it. 1 goal margin at best.
Okay, thanks, Wade.
Sure. Thanks, Nick.